Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay and welcome to episode 550 of Let's Play Siralim Ultimate. We're gonna start this off by doing a bit of a check-in with the achievement progress we've made, and I want to spend a couple minutes just talking about which of these achievements are gonna be major grind targets moving forward. So we won't spend that much time talking about it, but I do think it's important to, keep yourself situated in terms of how you're progressing towards your goals, especially with a goal as ambitious as trying to 100% this game. So before we got the announcement that we would get a 2.0 update, we were moving towards the point in this game where all of the or most of the interesting things that you can find, things that you can do, things that you can explore, things that you can discover would all be exhausted, and at the end of it there would only be grinding left to do. And obviously a wrench was thrown into those plans, a good kind of wrench, with the announcement of the 2.0 update. Now that update brought us a whole lot of new creatures, a lot of new cards to collect, new game modes, which I haven't looked at yet, which I think I would only look at after I've done the 100%. But generally a lot of new things to do in the game, and so it threw off my plans to then start doing off-screen grinding. So while it has meant that the episodes are, more fun to record, there's lots of stuff happening each episode, it also means that for a lot of these grindy achievements, we haven't made that much of a dent in them. So I just want to talk about that a little bit, because at some point I'm gonna have to start off-screening things to get through it a lot quicker. And there are, I think, 4 major things I identified. And let's start with this one thing from the castle achievements. I keep checking it at the end of each episode, and it, on the surface, feels like we're a majority of the way through it, but it's so slow. It's the creature parts achievement. You get, I think, between 40 and 60 creature parts for each enemy you defeat. We've got 10 million of them to get in total. We've already got 6.38 million. We've got about 3.62 million creature parts to get, and basically what this translates into is you gotta kill a lot of stuff. And let me actually pause the game while I do some calculations. Give me a moment. Right, I just wanted to run some quick calculations. So it seems we have about 3.6 million more creature parts to get. We are getting between 40 and 60 creature parts. So let's average that out to 50. 3.6 million divided by 50 is roughly 72,000 more battles that we have to get into. I think that there are certain battles that don't give you creature parts, so I think this further means 72,000 more battles against maybe like non-boss enemies, or whatever the list of enemies are that drops creature parts. It would have to be only those. So it's basically another way of saying you gotta play the game a long time, you gotta kill a lot of stuff. Another pair of achievements that's gonna take a long time is number 1 for visiting 10,000 realms, and then for beating 10,000 realms. Now, we are less than halfway towards getting this. We can speed farm realms though. That's not a huge issue, because what I do typically is I hang around in realms, I try and find the masters, I try and find other things, but if all you're trying to do is you're trying to get through realms pretty quickly, you can get through it pretty quickly. I'm repeating myself a little bit, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Is if your one and only goal is just to run up the number on realm quests, you can do it at a fairly good pace. For now, though, we have other things that we're looking for in realms, so we're not going to be ignoring everything else, but this is another one of those that's going to take a lot of off-screen grinding whenever the time comes to do said grinding, right? There's a few others that our progress is even more abysmal on, and to show you that, we've got to go to the character achievements. Now, one of them is the Rune of Prophecy. Well, there's two different achievements for Rune of Prophecies. One, which we are past the 50% point on, that is the Prophetic Lineman achievement for completing prophecy lines. But for overall Runes of Prophecy, we are below even 40%. Now, this again is something that you can grind pretty quickly, because usually what I've been doing is I've been waiting until we have like 10 or so lines before handing in Runes of Prophecies. One thing you could do is, as soon as one line is complete, you could just hand in the rune, and then it would count as a completed Rune of Prophecy, but it would only credit you with, you know, the one line that you completed. So again, my goal is to hand in more fully completed Runes of Prophecy until we reach the point where the number of lines that remain to be completed is equal to the number of Runes of Prophecy that need to be completed. And from that point on, we'll just hand them in as soon as one line is complete. But that's going to take a long time. This might not even be an efficient way of doing it, but it's a more fun way of doing it, because I like, you know, getting more value out of the Runes of Prophecy, the piety rewards, and also it just looks nicer when they are more fully completed. Also in the character achievements, there is this absolute metric ton of realm achievements for the different classes, which you can only get by playing as the different classes. And we've got well, what we should do is we should go to the specialization list, because then we can see exactly how many remain to be done. We've got about 50 more realms as a gladiator. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Excuse me. So around 2,650 more realms to get through all of these. And we'll get through a lot of them from just playing the game normally. Now, I keep mentioning off-screen grinding. When is this off-screen grinding gonna happen? I feel like I don't want to do off-screen grinding right now, while we know at a minimum there's gonna be a 2.1 update, and beyond that, the developer has hinted that there's also gonna be a 3.0 update. And in between these updates, there are like hotfixes being put out. I don't want to be doing off-screen grinding at a time when it's possible that there's more stuff to be discovered in the game. Even if it's discoveries in the form of, ooh, this long-standing bug was removed, this long-standing quality of life feature was finally added. I want my proper first impressions of those to be recorded, as opposed to being like, oh, here's a thing I noticed off-screen, right? So, presumably at some point, the developer will announce that, you know, this is going to be the last major content update. And when that update comes, once we've exhausted all the new content, we will then do another check-in, and we'll see how we're doing on the achievements that were added and what other achievements will be taking up our time then. Ooh, one other achievement, one of the newly added achievements that I forgot was I think it's a castle achievement for nether synthesis. We gotta do 50 of these, man, and we've been playing so much since the update dropped. We don't even have enough yeah, we still don't have enough. No. We only in the last episode did we finally get enough Stardust to start our second Nether Synthesis mission. So that one's another one that's going to take a long time and will potentially require some off-screen grinds. All right. How long have I been yapping? It's been 11 minutes. That is unacceptable, outrageous, and I think it's time for us to jump in and get some stuff done. We're gonna, once again, run through until we kill another couple false gods. Oh god, chance to resist damage is hideous. Hate it. Yeah, man, come on. I really should be removed from the game. What was I even... Yeah, when I see a really dumb realm property, it just stops me in my tracks. But I'm gonna try and keep a positive outlook. So what are we gonna do in this episode? The usual stuff. We're gonna try and get a couple of false gods killed. One big moment in the series is gonna be when we no longer have to fight Jotun. And we are getting closer to that moment, but it's gonna take a while before we are able to do that. Alright. Unfortunately, we didn't need to find any dumplings for the Rune of Prophecies, but that's fine. Alright, people, let's keep on moving. Oh my god, come on, man. This is what I hate about the chance to resist damage thing, is that for no justifiable reason, some of your battles are gonna take like double or triple the amount of time to clear. There's no reason trash mobs should ever have an ability like this. Or if they do have an ability like this, you should be able to just walk past them and ignore them like you're able to do in games like Diablo and Path of Exile, where if there's some really annoying affix that some creature has, you just don't even bother stopping to fight them. But in a game where you're forced to fight everything that you know, looks at you, you gotta be a little bit more conservative in terms of what kinds of affixes they can have. Yeah, it's one or the other. Either you make it so that all of the fights are optional. You can go to a realm and I hit the B button and I walk away from the fight and I can explore the rest of the realm. Or you make it so that the stupid affixes just aren't there in the game, or are only present in, like, I don't know, false gods, or like one or two nether bosses. Even in bosses, it's really obnoxious to have like scripted damage avoidance that the player can't do anything about. Yeah, I just wanted to get a little bit of favor to get another favor rank. Let's go back to the castle. Let's destroy this nether stone. It was 219, I do believe. And let's move on. 361, and we are gonna fight Vidya. Vitya? Whatever. Whatever the boss's name is, that's what we're gonna do. Alright, come on, people. But we do have to answer a Riddle Dwarf question. This is gonna be our final one, so we gotta make sure we get it right. Motherfucker. Man, this is another change that needs to be made to this game. You should not be asked to identify random spells or creatures, because nobody's gonna remember this. Everybody's gonna just look it up. And if there's a thing, if there's a puzzle component which everybody looks up, then it means that it wasn't a good puzzle, right? Now my guess is it's gonna be sorcery, but who the fuck knows? It could be chaos, it could be probably not death, but the game's had some other spells whose class really doesn't match the name. So let's do Siralim Ultimate Spell Blast. Motherfucker, not Powdered Blast, not Holy Blast. Okay, Spell Blast is a sorcery class spell. I had to go down like 5 or 6. It was the not like 5 or 6 or 7 results below the top. Below the thing I actually searched for. 5 or 6 or 7 results below that was the thing I was looking for. Nah, Google is kind of. I don't even want to talk about how screwed up searching for things on the internet has become. It's depressing, but yeah. I don't know what the fuck happened. Oh, they were at the top of the timeline. Okay, well, I guess I'll allow it. Alright. We're completing prophecy tasks. We're having a good time. Completing lines as well, in fact. And all of a sudden, this Rune of Prophecies is looking pretty sharp. If only we could find one more buried treasure, that would be nice. Let's see if we can. I guess we can do a little bit of this action. Oh my god. Oh my god, come on. Alright. I'm gonna avoid optional combat. This isn't the worst realm, but I still want to be a little bit quick, because we did have a bit of a slow start. Alright. Take on this friend. Well, not really a friend. We had to kill him, but yeah, in different circumstances. Who knows? You know, we could have been good friends with that dude who was in that portal. All right, take out the master. That was the main thing we're looking for. I guess we'll do this. I want to explore the realms a little bit. Ooh, there's another Pandemonium Shrine. I don't know if we need more Pandemonium Shrines. We absolutely 100% need more Pandemonium Shrines. Now we also need a buried treasure. Okay. Okay, boys, come on. I don't think there's gonna be any buried treasure in this realm, but we did our due diligence in looking for it, and that's what matters. Alright. Let's smash up a little bit more stuff. And let's go in. Well, let's quickly do this. Let's go and take out Vitya. Something about this fight needs to be changed, because it is kind of dumb that most of the spells don't even register, because the game has an internal clock, or like an internal limit on how many spells can be cast. Is there a reason to head back? Do we need to hand in our... No, we don't. So we're just going to continue. And right away we got 356. We got extra traits though. You know what? I don't want to deal with extra traits. So I'll... Oh, this also had extra traits. Okay. Well, whatever. Oh, we got riddles in this realm. So we didn't have to... Well, we didn't know we were gonna get it, but had we known that we'd have 2 free riddle attempts, I would have maybe not bothered looking up the whole spell blast thing. Oh yeah, and there's another exotic creature that we've unlocked. Alright. Alright. Oh. Right. Okay. Alright. Eternity's End is Vertrag. Good. A bit of that. Take out some of these. And Emerald Power, I don't know, sorcery? Okay. You are the Egg Exotic Master. This is going to be another achievement for us. More game progress is always a good thing. We're still looking for a buried treasure. That would be nice to get. More prophecy stuff getting done. Oh, this is a long way we're walking. Hopefully it connects. Oh god, this is good. Oh my. Ooh, actually no. It is annoying that this goes so far off the map without connecting. But the fact that we're gonna get the buried treasure done makes it worth it. We do have to find it though, because I was about to leave this realm. Now we gotta figure out where this treasure is. Alright. Let's keep on moving on. Alright. Oh my god. Is it on the map? Do we see it on the map? Yes, we do. It's up there. Another favor rank is always great. Breath and Balance, Aryamaki. Fantastic. Alright. I guess we'll take a look at what's inside here. And I guess the extra traits weren't that bad, but don't be fooled. That's only because we got lucky, right? Extra traits can ruin your whole day if you get a whole bunch of creatures with really bad traits, and it's literally just luck that separates one from the other. Is there a reason to head back? I don't think so. Well, I don't want to... Well, you know what? Where's the candle is really far away. It's not that far away. So what I'll do is I will hand in this Rune of Prophecies right now, because it could take us a long time to find 2 more Pandemonium Shrines. So let's just get the nature creatures killed. And I don't know, oh my god, come on. Okay. I don't know why these guys are suddenly so tanky. Right. And as soon as we hear the prophecy task notification, there we go. Now we can leave. Now we go back home. What we do is we save and continue in case we get given a really terrible Rune of Prophecies. Now we walk over and take a look at this. Yeah, we could have done a lot better, but we're not gonna be wasting time. We're gonna hand it in. 10 lines is perfectly fine. And we're getting crate materials. Okay. Then this Rune of Prophecies wants us to do that's a horrible start. 2 hunt missions, but let's take a look at the rest of it. 4 Nether Realms is a lot. An assassination mission, which I think we only recently. Well, we're 9 rounds away. I'm not a fan of this one. I'm gonna take another crack at this. Takes about a minute to relaunch the game after the optimizations that were made in 2.0. So, oh, I've also got my browser running. Hang on, let me just, in case it speeds things up, but probably won't make that much of a difference. But yeah, there we go. Anytime you see the Rune of Prophecies asking you to do 2 of any mission, it means you're not going to do those missions, right? It just isn't going to happen. Unless you have one of those missions already ready to hand in. So we don't get the same trade material that we got last time. Oh, look at that. Just for the fact that it's already asking us to kill Jotun, I'm tempted to keep it. Nevertheless, let's take a look. Assassination mission is fine. Once again, I don't think we have to kill any candle enemies. 3 Pando Shrines is great. Honestly, this Rune of Prophecies looks fine. Riddle Dwarves might be a bit of a roadblock. So we gotta do Siralim, we gotta do Kino, and I think that's the only gambling. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick around in the swamplands for a while to try and convince the game to get a treasure golem to spawn. Now, we did some math last episode about what are the odds of spawning a dumpling in the arachnid nest. And I think what we wound up at... Oh, please don't give me extra... God, that's so annoying, dude. Look at... I know it might not seem like much, but anything that wastes your time in this game just hurts so much. Okay. 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 What was I even gonna say? So we worked out that the odds of getting a dumpling to spawn in the arachnid nest were a little bit better than 1 in 4. The odds of getting a treasure golem to spawn in the swamplands are gonna be less than that. In fact, it's gonna be the same as the first set of odds that we calculated. So let me actually recalculate those odds. It was 0.95. Shut up, dude. 0.95. Go to scientific notation to the power of 3. Yeah, so that gives us about 86%. That gives us, well, that's about a 14, well, about an 86 point, no, sorry, about an 85.5%, about a 14.5%. I've explained that poorly. About an 85.5% chance of the treasure golem not spawning from the, is it 3 treasure piles? Oh, actually, no, there might be more than 3 treasure piles. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna be doing some more math. We gotta see how many treasure piles there are. We also gotta answer this rill dwarf correctly. Okay, Manticore Decimator I think is gonna be chaos, but let me just check. Decimator is, drum roll please. My guess was chaos, and indeed it's chaos. Alright. So now we gotta count the treasure piles. Let's also take a look at the oh my god. What exactly... Oh my god. I'm gonna actually select this. What exactly the odds are for spawning this treasure golem? 5% chance, and you get that at rank 1? Treasure golem... Is that the only thing that spawns a treasure golem? Do the odds of that ever go up? Seems like the answer is no. So all we have is that 5%. Okay. Now the question is, well, how many treasure piles are there in the swamplands? Because the calculation I just did was for 3 of them, but if there are more than 3, then obviously your chances are better. So let's count them. Let's count them, boys. Let's actually go up and around. Hopefully this connects. It looks like it does. All right, we'll do a few optional battles. Only 75 favor is a bit. Excuse me, it's a bit weak. I have not seen a single treasure pile so far, but there's one. There's two, and there's our treasure golem. You know, we gotta be... Okay, there we go. There's our treasure golem. We got him on the second pile. So we got... Oh god. Okay, we got really lucky. This has a trait on it. This doesn't have a trait on it. So we're gonna have to deal with some nether stones when we get back home. So there were two treasure piles so far. And in order to get an accurate number... Oh god, this guy, I don't want to fight him. Oh! He turned at the exact wrong time. Ugh. You know what? At least it was an easy kill. That was 3 treasure piles, and we had extraordinarily good luck to have 2 of them spawn treasure golems. Unless we had an... I didn't admittedly read through all of the... So that's our 4th one? I think there might be 5. Because 4 would be an odd number for... Like an odd number of... Like any type of thing for there to be in a realm. I think you know what I mean. Like, I know 4 is not an odd number, it's an even number. It's a... What I meant was, it's a strange number of, like a quantity of something in a realm. Yep, and there's our 5th, but is there a 6th? Probably not. 6, once again, would be a strange number to have. 3 makes sense. 5 makes sense. 10 makes sense. 7, you know, one of those classic numbers. You can have 7 of anything, and it'll always make sense. I think 5 is what we land at. So now we're gonna have to redo our calculations, because the 14% number that I gave is no longer accurate. It's gonna be a little bit less than the 26% or whatever the number was for the arachnid nest, because that had 6 objects and this only has 5 of them. So let me quickly redo that math. Alright. To the power of 5 gives us 77.4% chance of no treasure golems from all 5. 1 minus that, or 100% minus that, lands us at 22.6% of a percent chance of getting a treasure golem to spawn for you in the swamplands from just the treasure piles. At least 1 treasure golem from just the treasure piles. Add to that the chance of a treasure golem just spawning normally, and you got a better chance than that. But the floor is the 22.6. Okay, there's a couple things we gotta get rid of. There's a netherstone 182. Then there's a netherstone 355. There was, right? Yeah, there we go. Then we gotta take a look at the other netherstone that we found that did have a trait on it. It was 190 something, 191. Love it. After this creature is resurrected, it gains 100% off. It's interesting. We don't really do resurrection-based things in our party because you have a limited number of resurrections in this game. But, you know, if you do resurrection-based stuff, then you get some good value out of that. I guess if you make really good use out of your 15 resurrections, then you could have a pretty good time. Spell Sword. Is that a creature? Because that just straight up looks like a person pretending to be a creature. Another nether stone that we gotta get rid of. 294. Quickly take out Zantai. Motherfucker. I don't know why he felt the need to kill one of my mimics. Again, let's take a look at a Eldritch Essence. We'll take a look at that trait. Again, 850,000 crystal. I'll only buy it if this trait seems awesome. Otherwise, I'll either not buy it or I'll wait to find it myself. Eldritch Essence. And I already have one of those. Well, I have one of those trade materials. I don't know if I necessarily have it as a nether stone. I probably don't. When one of your creature dies, that seems kind of dumb. So we missed out on that nether stone, but I don't want to be spending that many resources that, you know, in so cavalier a fashion, right? Alright. We don't have to find the buried treasure for our Rune of Prophecies. However, if we run across it along the way, of course we'll pick it up. Alright. Let's go down and around. Sorry, I was just looking at the weather effect. It almost looks like feathers are falling. I don't know if that's the intended effect or if it's supposed to be something else. It just looks like there's feathers raining down. Alright. Also, did we have to hand in our Forge mission? We should have handed it in because we have to complete a bunch of missions. Okay. That was a bit of a misplay. Alright, there's a duplicate card. Those soul flares give us 75 favor. These only give us 50 favor. That's kind of lame. But I guess they also give us treasure, so maybe that makes up for it a little bit. And there's the treasure that we didn't really need. Alright, we gotta kill another one of these soul flares. And we have to find the master. Alright. Oh, we got a little bit of work left to do in this round. There's the Soul Flare Master. Unfortunately, does not count as a Soul Flare encounter. So we have to find that thing. There we go. Now let me just make sure that we don't have to do anything with the candle. Looks like we don't. So I guess I'm just gonna... Ooh, another riddle dwarf. That's gotta be death, right? Okay. So I guess we're just gonna move onwards, and we're gonna have ourselves. Ooh, do we have to do this? We do. And do we have to do dumplings? We don't. Okay. So, we're not going to bother with whatever that shrine summoned, whether it's a dumpling or a treasure golem, we don't care about it. Okay. It's a treasure golem, we're just going to let this guy run around, do his thing, we don't care. We're going to go home, we're going to hand in the forge mission and probably start a key forge, if I'm not already doing one. No, I am already doing one, because I've been collecting key components. Alright, well. Let's do this. I guess we'll start a health training. And here's gonna be our first fight against Jotun. 437 is a good bonus. Alright. Alright. Loses less stats is fine. I'll take the 7 debuffs, honestly. I should probably not take the 7 debuffs. But it's been a while since we got screwed by it, so... I'm gonna keep taking it for a while. Until the next time that I get screwed, because I took the 7 debuffs. And then I'll get really salty, and then I'll stop taking it, and then I'll eventually start taking it again. And that's the circle of life. Alright, we'll give him that. Alright, we've gotta... Gotta find one more enemy to fight, but then we also have to find the master. I'd prefer to fight the master before we fight the boss. I'm not putting him at the top of the timeline. I think we can do it. Yeah, we've already dispelled his nonsense, and we've got him locked down. And just to be extra safe, I'll have the Lunatio provoke. And now all we have to do is wait. And you can see why I'm keen to get to the point where I never have to fight this guy ever again. It is a bit of a chore. It just takes a long time. It takes quite a long time. I guess it might feel longer than it actually takes, because you're just sitting there doing nothing. I don't mind spending time playing a game, but I do mind spending time sitting in a game not playing it, right? That's what really bothers me at the end of the day, the time spent not playing the game. Because if I'm doing stuff, and if it's engaging, that's fine, but if all I'm doing is sitting, staring at the screen, waiting for things to end, that's a bit of a, you know, not exactly the highlight of my day. 7,600 reputation is pretty good. Takes us to 2454. Gain another favor rank as well. Pretty good. Another duplicate card. Getting a good number of those. Now, where is this master that we were told is in this realm? There you are. This is going to be our 6th win against the denizens. We'll get an achievement out of it. And what else? Don't think we need to worry about the buried treasure, but I guess since it's right on the way, we'll pick it up. Sure. I guess I'll take you out. What do we have that's completed? Keyforge, start new. Keyforge. Let's look at our prophecies. We gotta complete 3 more missions. How are our missions looking? Well, 7 more rounds and we'll do another synthesis. 5 more rounds and we'll do a Keyforge. Pilgrimage is getting close to being done. Assassination is not that close to being done. So this is gonna take a while. So we're gonna... Before we set the bounty against Jotun, I want to see Monk, Warden, Witch Doctor. Let's look at the anointments. Monk, Warden, Witch Doctor. Monk has 4 more. 2 more. So we only have 10 total anointments left to get out of this guy, and then we never have to fight him ever again. It's gonna feel so good. Are we good? I think we're good. So let's take on the nether boss Impington. Oh, and get thrown back into the very same realm that we just left, but that's randomness for you. Alright, come on. Come on. Let's quickly dispatch our friend. Alright. That was quick, but we're not done with this round because we gotta find the master and we just gotta, you know, smash some stuff, get the usual. This was really annoying. Yeah, champion mobs, I think, or another enemy type that... I get what you're trying to I get what the game was going for, but you can't have an enemy like that in a game where you have to finish every single fight. You can only have stuff like that in a, like, Diablo-style game where you can just... If there's an annoying enemy, you can just walk past them. Right. But I mentioned this before, but I think it bears repeating, right? Sometimes the idea of something, like, you can get what they're trying to go for, but it just doesn't work for the kind of game that the thing was put into, right? And I think that's the main thing that's going on here. All right. Are we done with the Pando Shrines? We are. Okay. Smash that stuff. You are the Marionette Master, so we're gonna get another achievement. We're getting some nice prophecy lines completed. Feels pretty good. These guys could have been really annoying because they could have shuffled the timeline, but luckily we didn't have to endure that. All right. Okay, are we done? I think we're done. Oh, for a second there, I thought that was an exotic portal in the bottom right, but no, it's just a rainbow colored creature. Where's the exit? Did I just? Oh, it's all the way in the corner. Okay. Okay, let's quickly move on to the next realm. .358 is gonna be pretty good. Okay, so we gotta interact with those objects. 5 of them. I don't know if I necessarily want to fight agile enemies, but I think, yeah, we need to come here anyway for the quest. And these guys were not that big of a problem. Are we done with the Riddle Dwarves, or... No, we got to do this guy and then one more. Eft Elder, man, I think Efts are nature, but I'm gonna have to check. Eft Elder is nature. Okay. Okay. One more Riddle Dwarf. Gotta find the master as well. Oh god, this treasure golem's in the way. Man, you saw I was walking away from him because I was trying to go towards the thing and he teleported into me. You saw it. I would have eventually had to kill him, but at the moment that he initiated combat, I was walking in this direction and there was daylight, clear daylight between me and the enemy. He teleported into me, just like any normal enemy. And that seems like excuse me, that seems like not the kind of AI that treasure golems should have. If the game is gonna maintain the whole allure thing, go, oh, it's such a evil thing you did fighting this treasure golem, you must have gone out of your way to kill him. That was true in the old game. You did have to go out of your way to kill treasure golems in the old game. But if you're gonna change it so that they wander around randomly and then sometimes randomly teleport into you and start combat, then I'm sorry. You gotta change it, man. This is not working out. Because I like to get immersed in the games that I play, and stuff like this kills the immersion. I understand why they changed it, but there's a better way to deal with it. The better way to deal with it is that treasure golems shouldn't even be wandering on the map. They should be stationary objects that you either choose to interact with or you don't choose to interact with. Or if you choose to interact with them, maybe instead of you have to fight them it opens up a dialogue and it says, do you want to kill this guy for the treasure or do you want to let him go? And then maybe you get some different bonus for letting them go. That was my suggestion that I left on the Discord, and it seemed like people were in favor of it. Got a decent number of upvotes. But yeah, like anything different from what it is currently, because currently it's just this small part of the game is just fundamentally broken. If you're gonna have the lore about, oh, killing treasure golems is such a horrible thing to do, and then have treasure golems teleporting into you to initiate combat, that just fundamentally doesn't work. I don't think the developer was thinking about that aspect when they made that change. But clearly it's not working the way it's not working in a way that makes any kind of sense. Anyway, let me take a look at how things are going. We haven't found a single nether realm, really? Really? Okay. Buried treasure. Wait, have I been leaving behind buried treasure? I'm all of a sudden doubting myself. Maybe I have. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. When you look at a brand new Rune of Prophecies, it can be so hard with, you know, all however many, it's a 5x5, all 25 of them, to notice that, oh, one of them was the buried treasure thing. So it's possible that I left behind some buried treasure. Seeing as I've already picked up 2, maybe I haven't. At most, maybe I left behind 1. Anyway. Alright, Competent Gladiator 7. Another little bit of progress there. Anyway. Let's keep going. How about talk to you? Okay. One suggestion that somebody else left was that there should be an icon that tells you if you haven't donated to the god. Or it should just indicate whether you have or you haven't donated. And then I wouldn't have to keep checking. Because sometimes I do forget to donate, especially if at the start of a realm I get distracted by some other realm object. So yeah. The suggestion was that there should be the same way that the game reminds you if you haven't set your false god bounty, the game should also remind you that in this realm you haven't donated yet. I feel like I've picked up all or most. Ovular Barrage. Interesting name for a trait. Let me look at the item. Because yeah, I could look up at the trait. I could look up the trait separately, but the item could have other interesting things on it, and with the stats. The stats are kind of garbage, but is this trait any good? After this creature is attacked, it casts Verdant Spheres. That seems kind of useless. But I guess you could have your own creatures attack it, or I guess you could have it taunt. I mean, there are ways that you can encourage the enemy to attack specific creatures in your party, but I don't know if that's like a really interesting build mechanic. Who are you? You're the occultist. Master and you're dead. But of course, because you had a stupid scripted chance of avoiding damage, you took the battle into a second turn. Annoying as hell. Alright. Hello. Only one trait on this very high rarity netherstone. Again, I don't know why I'm stuck on that other page. I need to be on this page. What? It's not quite in the top 10. I think it's number 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, number 12. When this creature casts a spell, 50% of its health is added to its intelligence to determine potency. I mean, I do like things that allow me to use my health offensively. I feel like there are better ways. Like, better than that would be just having the potency be based on health. Right? Anyway, let's keep on moving. Three, 5, 5. All right. Oh, excuse me? What was wrong with those guys? Was it because they had the Nephilim in their party? It must have been, because these other guys are fine. Luckily, it's not the fusion, because all enemies in the realm share the same fusion. So if they're fused with a really bad set of enemies, then you're stuck with them for the rest of the realm. Okay. 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 Alright, well, that was annoying. But I think that's the first protected enemy we've seen all... Ooh, nice, more buried treasure. I think that's the first protected enemy we've seen all episode. So I guess we've had pretty good luck. We've got to get rid of that. Nether stone. Rarity of 320. Easy number to remember. I don't know why these guys were such a pain, but we got through it in the end. Alright. We've got to pick up this buried treasure. Z, alright. Go down, grab that. There we go, now we just gotta find one more. And the chances of finding one more, I'd say, are fairly good. Because in addition to randomly having the treasure map spawn in the realm, there are certain realms where it will for sure spawn a treasure map, and then your goal in that realm is going to be to find the buried treasure. Right, so I think we're done. We're just gonna look around. Why am I looking around? Now that I've killed the master and found the buried treasure, I guess I really am just wasting time, but yes, it wasn't that bad. we got a few things out of it. All right. Alright. Alright, boys. Let's head home. Get rid of this nether stone. 320. And $360 is decent. There's another nether portal, so maybe we'll actually get that thing done as well, because we would need one more after this. This one gives us 3 fights against the disgruntled arena master. With the right build, she could actually beat our party, because our party is a one-trick blight damage pony. But since she is not very competent, she loses to us 3 times in a row and then just gives up. Despite the fact that we used the same party against her, you know, in the first 2 battles, she didn't bother to try and adjust her build in any way. What kind of a party would I use if I wanted to beat my party? Well, obviously you gotta make yourself immune to either blight specifically or highly resistant to indirect damage in general. And then, you know, you gotta have some way of doing a little bit of chip damage to the mimics at the start of combat so that they get sent to the bottom of the timeline. And then you gotta have your own mimics. And what your own mimics should be doing is casting entangling roots, because I do not have immunity to snare. And then any sort of, as long as you can do any sort of damage in the fight, you will eventually win. It might take 100 turns, but eventually you'll win, especially because damage will ramp up as battle fatigue ramps up. So you gotta take out this master. Let me also see how much favor you get out of beating these Fae. 75 seems to be a pretty standard amount for a lot of these realm objects. Which is not a bad amount of favor. But so we're done with... We're not done with Riddle Dwarfs. This is going to be the last one. This is going to be the last one. Faraway Enclave is Lister. Boom. That's done. Alright. I do want to find that fairy because it's a nice little favor boost. And we have also not taken out the master. That's the other thing we got to do. You are the dragon master, right? And you're dead. Easy. Alright. Okay, how are we doing? Let's go down. Let's collect our favor. 300, a nice little chunk of favor. Let's see, nothing down here. All right. And the exit was to the right. Yeah, let's see. I was gonna say, let's see if we can dodge this enemy, but it was a little bit too close. All right. And in this project, start a new project. I'm just gonna start a new Keyforge. Now, whatever next project we complete, probably the assassination is gonna complete this. And also this. Alright. Let's continue. Judgment and Mercy. $350 is gonna be good enough. Alright. I think we're done with Pandemonium Shrines, but we'll talk to you all the same. I do love this realm. I already loved it because of the music and because of the aesthetics. I love it even more because of the weather effects, with the cards raining from the ceiling. Excuse me? Oh, it's because they've got a... It's because they have Valpa's enemies, and they were casting their spells at the start, which is the reason they wasted so much of our time. Alright, there's another favor rank there. We're also making pretty good progress gaining favor ranks of the various gods. We are now 80 plus. Well, for a few episodes we've been 80 plus with all of them. We're hitting 82, 83, 84 even with some of them. Alright. Netherstone 316 and a duplicate card. Easy does it. Motherfuck, dude, these they've got extra traits, and they're casting 11 times, they're attacking 7 times. Dumb fucking realm, dude. I mean, dumb fucking realm properties. The realm... Shut the fuck up, dude. Stop it. Yeah, the realm is fine, these realm properties are trash. And on top of all of that nonsense, 28% chance to resist damage means this is a garbage fucking realm. Alright. And now I gotta get rid of that nether stone as well. Oh my god. Shut up, dude. Oh my god. Shut up. Go away. Go away. I don't want to deal with any of your garbage. I mean, I'll still fight these realms just because you get 2 chests out of doing them. But I'm not happy about it. Oh hey, we're gonna get buried treasure. So it was worth doing a bit of exploration. I just gotta figure out if we can see where we need to go. Yes, we do. Just destroying everything. I don't mean to. I really like the decoration objects in this realm. They're kind of awesome. But when you're in a hurry, you kind of just you can't really think too long about what's in your way. Is there any reason to be up here? I guess I'll take that. And we're just gonna head home, because I think we got an assassination ready to hand in. Alright. So now we gotta kill chaos creatures. And gotta do nether realms. I tell you what, which page were we even on? We're on page. Wait, no. What am I doing? I'm looking for the Godspawns. Where are they? They're on page 33, and we killed the war giant. Now the jolly old giant on page 33. Next on the list. Now, what we'll do is we'll see if we find a nether portal in this realm. And if we do, then it's going to be a fully completed Rune of Prophecies. If not, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the chaos skills that I need, and I'm just going to hand in this Rune of Prophecies, and it's going to be just 10 things. Oh, well, would you look at that? We are going to get a fully completed Rune of Prophecies. And a bunch of chests. Alright, that's pretty good. Oh my god. Okay, there's a lot of nether stones that we need to deal with. Damarel, Alexandria. Alright. We've got to take out Eoten. And we got to get some chaos kills. So if I see the candle, we gotta do something about it. I don't know, maybe we can get chaos kills by fighting these guys. I'm pretty sure these are chaos enemies. I'm pretty sure they're chaos enemies. These diabolic horde are definitely chaos enemies. Okay. We got a couple more of them. Because if I can get some extra value beyond just, you know, like marking off the kills that I need, then you know what? Yes. Fully completed Rune of Prophecies. I'll take the 7 debuffs. Sure. We also are looking for a master. That felt really nice. We're handing in 2 Runes of Prophecy, and the second one is... How do you get to the... Hang on, how do you get to this top place? This is gonna be a... Oh my god. I hate it when the realms make you walk so far out of your way. Yeah, and the master was here too, so we couldn't have just avoided it. I'll take the 75% damage thing. I'm not gonna put him at the top of the timeline because that's just dumb. We don't need to fight anybody else. There's Jotun. Alright. We got him perma-snared. You can just provoke. Everybody else can just run their macro. Run their macro. Alright. Okay. This is annoying as fuck. Okay. Okay. Really annoying. Anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now these should be the last 10. Now from now on, every time we fight him, this list should be getting shorter and shorter. Anyway, let's take a moment of clarity. Heaping treasure gives us... Oh my god. Well, this has a trait on it. Let's take a look at that. Is it a good trait? Gain snowstorm. I don't care about that. And we get another duplicate card, and our nether synthesis is ready to be handed in. Alright. This is our second nether synthesis mission. So you know what we're gonna do is, this time I'm not gonna hand in the nether synthesis mission. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold on to it, and the next episode we're gonna see, can we save scum the nether synthesis until it gives us something better, or is the reward hard-coded from the moment that you complete it? So now we've got something to we've got some science to do next episode. But one thing we do have to do right now is we gotta no. Oh. I'm gonna have to edit that out because I accidentally showed my cloud ID. What I wanted to do was, I just want to save and continue. Alright. So what are we gonna do? Man, that has completely thrown me off. So what we need to do is we need to hand in our Rune of Prophecies. Yeah. And the next Rune of Prophecies, gotta make sure that it isn't garbage. So one training mission, the Ancestor, we can fight that guy. Missions of any type is fine. This is probably gonna be like 2 pilgrimage missions, isn't it? Yeah. Oh god. The rest of it seems fine. And how are we doing on pilgrimage? On our pilgrimage? Like, it would be... We're not gonna do 2 pilgrimage missions. We'll keep this. We'll keep this. And let's quickly do the gambling, Keno, and slot machines. Okay. How are we for time? It's probably a bit of a longer one. Yeah, we're almost at an hour and 30 minutes. So Keno, let's do the slots first because it takes a little bit longer. Okay, let's do the Keno. 4 in a row. All right. That was fun. Now what do we want to do? We got to set a bounty against the ancestor, right? Let me make sure. Yeah. I guess it's a little bit weird that some of these false gods only have 3 classes that they give anointments for, and some of them have 5. I understand that they're organized by sort of like the theme, like Hell Knight and Pyromancer are together. But then Gladiator just... If you're gonna give him Gladiator, then why not also give him... I guess Saint Althea's makes sense. You could give him... I don't know... Graveborn? You could give Graveborn to like Nebudar, or even to the Ancestor to even it out a little bit. And who else has 5? You got 5. You could give I don't know, you could give Deprived to the to Nebudar, because he honestly it feels like he's kind of deprived right now. Anyway, we'll just set a bounty against the Ancestor. Oh, also by the way, I think we hit realm depth 3000 in this in this realm. Oh, sorry, in this episode. Yep, way past 3000. What we'll do is I'll not bother with anything else, and we're not handing in the Nether Synthesis mission. We do have to destroy a whole lot of Nether stones, so let's get that taken care of. Starting with 175. Nether stones. 200. And then there were a few pretty high level ones. This one had no trait on it. Okay, so 294. Then there was 316, all right. Then there was 400 and something. Like, I think 416 maybe, or 415, all right. I think that's the last one, all right. So we'll destroy you. 415. Gives us... Oh, I nearly destroyed this one because the trait was buried in the middle, but no, we gotta destroy this one. It gives us a cool 24 grand. Alright, now then, let's take a look at what was accomplished this episode. We got a few achievements. Obviously, for beating some of the masters, for getting stuff done as the gladiator. That was pretty nice. And you know, it's pretty sweet. We are at 4,950 achievements overall, and we're doing okay for ourselves. Now, what else? Let's take a look at the usual progress that we made. Let's look at the realm achievements. How are we for are at 44,765 resource nodes and roughly double that for destructible objects, approaching that 90% mark, but it's gonna take a while before we get there. How are we for creature parts? Did we tick up at all? I think we were at 6.38, now we're at 6.39, and let's take a look at our are these achievements. We had it in 2 runes of prophecy in this episode. We were extra efficient. One of them was fully completed, in fact. That was pretty nice, and we are at 2,846 overall lines of prophecy as well. So we're doing pretty well on that front. And I think that's about everything. So I think it is time to call it good. I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. We, at the start of the episode, took stock of some of the really long achievements that will need off-screen grinding. But we won't start the off-screen grinding until we're sure that the game is through with updates. I may do a little bit of off-screen grinding here and there, but again, it feels like we're at a point in the game where it's kind of in active development. So let's wait to see what that looks like, and then let's play it normally for a while. And you know, we'll see how that goes. And then once we get to the point where we're like, okay, we've seen everything, we've done everything, the only thing left is the grind, then we'll start grinding these achievements down. But yeah, that was the plan for last episode. Also, the plan for this next upcoming episode is we're gonna see, can we save Scum the Nether Synthesis mission and see what kind of nether stones it gives us. We'll see how that works out for us. And I'm actually pretty excited to try that out, honestly. It's one of the things in the game that I'm not sure how it's gonna work, and I'm sure there are people who've already tried it themselves, but I'm gonna be trying it out for my own, and you know, we'll see how that works out for us. But anyway, that is gonna be all for this one. Hope to see you next time when we're gonna see how the nether synthesis experiment works out, and until then, take care.